So one of the most intriguing prospects in world basketball, without question, is Robert Bobroczky. So if you guys don't know, I've made a couple of videos on him, and they've totaled around 3 million views. He honestly, this 7'7" player has taken over basketball. And this is a world where you look 1 inch smaller, and we've got Taco Fall playing for UCF and nearly knocking out Zion Williamson. But still, Rob Bobroczky, 1 inch taller, has just completely took social media by storm over the last couple of years. Especially last year when it was announced that he was going to be playing with LaMelo Ball. Not really unfortunately, maybe fortunately for him, considering the way his body is, that never really happened. This video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Rob Bobroczky. I've already made a couple of videos talking about his actual game of basketball. I'm not going to really talk too much on that, apart from when I'm talking about what I think his future is. But we're going to be talking about where he is now, and we're also going to be talking about a little bit of how he became such a social media star. Before we get on to the main part of the video, I just like to say we are doing a daily December. If you guys like this content, subscribe. We're trying to 110,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're also going to be uploading one video every single day. And yeah, this is day number 5 and video number 5. So we are on track so far. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So Bobroczky was born in Romania, and his dad was a former basketball player who was 7'1", and his mom was also 6'1". So the fact that he's 7'7", it's not due to any sort of growth disorder. It's genuinely due to crazy genetics, with both his mom and his dad being very, very tall. At the age of 8, he was 6'2". That is super tall at that age. But again, he continued to grow for a while. He was 7'2" at 12. At 13 years old, he was 7'4", and when he went to America and started to kind of be seen as kind of just an anomaly, a guy who was just so much taller than everyone else, he was 15 years old. 15! And he was 7'7". At 15 years old, this guy was 7'7". So, the past couple of years has been a case of a lot of people looking at him, expecting him to grow into a player, waiting for him to grow into a player, and then a lot of people looking back thinking, oh, remember that giant 14-year-old we saw in a video back in 2013? Where is he now? Where is he now? And that's the exact reason why I'm making this video right here. So he shot to fame when there was a video went viral where he was playing for AS Stella Azzurra. Sorry if I mispronounced that name, but it's an amateur club in Italy, and I don't know why a lot of people are calling it specifically an amateur club, because it's a club. A lot of underage clubs are amateur clubs, but it's the team where Andre Bargnani played. But again, I don't see that as too relevant for this. I think he was more so famous because of who he was, not who he played for. But the thing is that when he was in Italy, he was dominating because he was just so much taller than everybody else. And 7'4" at 14 years old, and he was able to score in around the basket. He was able to shoot the ball quite well, and I think the biggest thing that stood out, it's a bad thing to say, but was the fact that he kind of struggled to move up and down the court. He kind of waddled up and down the court and was still kind of dominant. His hand-eye coordination for someone that height was really good. Obviously blocking shots, but he possessed no major coordination in general. Like, jump shot was good, hook shots and stuff was good, but you didn't see him making any sort of post moves because, honestly, he didn't look like he was coordinated enough to play basketball. And I think that's a big reason why he went so viral, even more so than the likes of Taco Fall. And if you're looking at Taco Fall, he was 1 inch smaller, but a lot more coordinated, a lot more physically dominant, and to be honest, he just didn't look anywhere near as tall as Robert Bobroczky did because he was nowhere near as skinny. In 2016, he went to Spire Academy. But honestly, the Spire Institute is one of the top place to play basketball in America. And if there was anywhere that was going to get him right and turn him into the best possible player, it would be either there or IMG, to be honest. He actually he was meant to be playing with LaMelo Ball in 2018, but before he was playing with LaMelo Ball, they really put him on a minutes restriction when he was a freshman, and they just basically tried to build him up. So he came in at 7'7", 180 pounds. At the end of the first year, he put on 10 pounds. He struggled obviously to put on weight even on a 5,000 calorie a day diet. And while they were trying to just build him up and get him ready to play basketball, it was clear that he really was struggling. He also suffered from scoliosis, which didn't help, and his hips were out of line. So even doing something simple like running in a straight line was going to cause him pain, and it was going to take years to fix that and get him ready to play. After his freshman year, from what I can see, he didn't play. And then obviously once he was in his junior year, he was listed on the roster for Spire with LaMelo Ball. And then everything's kind of stopped. And by everything's kind of stopped, I mean there is absolutely no news. So this year he is a senior for Spire Academy or Spire Institute. I'm pretty sure he's on their roster. He's on their max prep roster. However, again, he has not played this year. Last year when the team was going viral with LaMelo Ball balled out. That team was balling out. And all the comments were saying for every one of the games was, where's the 7'7" guy? Where's the 7'7" guy? And the simple truth is that he just was not ready to play basketball last year. This year, he is not ready to play basketball. And honestly, I think he's kind of laying low. From what I could see, I couldn't find a Twitter or an Instagram for him. So obviously he's not much of a presence on social media. The biggest presence of him on social media is people like myself, MJ2K all day, Overtime, Max Preps making videos about him. And from what I've seen, he just kind of is one of those players that works in the background, is trying to get better. And it just seems to be unfortunate that the way his body's built, it doesn't seem like he's been able to put on weight. The last actual listed weight of him was 190 pounds, even though his max prep page is 220 pounds. So it's very, very unlikely that he is any heavier than 190 pounds. If you guys look at him now, he probably looks exactly like he did before he went to the Spire Institute. And that's the thing, being 7'7" can be a blessing and a curse. And for some people like Mirasan and for guys like Taco Fall, their height was the reason why they were in the NBA. However, with Rob Bobroczky, his height has completely kind of stopped him from even playing the game of basketball. What the future holds for him, honestly, it's hard to tell, because the reason why he was in the Spire Institute for all these years, the reason why he got his scholarship paid for him, is that he was height. They took him as a project. He was a 7'7" player coming over that the coaches there thought that they could turn him into a basketball player. And to be completely honest, he has no offers for college, but I would not be that surprised if a college team thinks the same thing. If there's a college team somewhere, maybe not Division 1, but if they think, okay, if we give him a 4-year scholarship or even a 5-year scholarship and get him to redshirt a year, that by his final year in college, or maybe his final 2 years, they could turn him into a player, or even if not like a major contributor, someone who could come in for 5-6 minutes a game, hit them a couple of blocks and do well. And to be honest, I think there is a lot of coaches that would bet on themselves and making him a good player. So I would be shocked that unless he chooses not to, I'd be shocked if he doesn't get any sort of college offer. Will he play college basketball? It's highly unlikely. Will he play in the NBA? Very, very unlikely. Honestly, I think there's a better chance that he never plays another game of basketball in his life than he does play a game of basketball. And that's just due to the fact that it may not be good for him to step on the floor. Like, when you've watched him, when you've heard things about him, it just seems like he could break at any time. And I don't mean like literally break his body. It just seems like it could be dangerous. With his back injuries, with his hip injuries, it seems like it could be a danger to put him on the floor. So I think there's a reason why we've heard absolutely nothing about him, because I think that if there was even a chance of him playing, if there was even a chance that he was going to see the floor this year, there'd be a lot more videos about him from Spire, from Max Preps, because honestly, if Spire could turn this guy into a guy who could even step foot on the floor, they'd be seen as almost miracle workers, and a lot more people would be looking to go to them, and it would be positive publicity. However, the fact that we've heard absolutely nothing means that it's very, very unlikely he plays a game of basketball. Do I think he'll get a full ride through Division 1? I honestly do, for the same reason that he got a full scholarship in Spire. But do I think he ever plays another game of basketball? Probably not. And let's be real, the last we're probably ever going to hear of Rob Bobroczky is videos like this. People looking back on the guy, saying where he is, why he failed. And to be honest, there's no real reason. The reason why he failed was that just his height was a curse more than it was a blessing, I guess, because he obviously wasn't able to put on the weight. Metabolism was too fast. Even though he trained hard, even though he stuck to his 5,000 calorie a day diet, he just wasn't able to do it. And that happens. Not everyone's meant to be an elite sports star, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, he did get a decent education in America. He worked hard for a couple of years, and while I'm not sure if it's the biggest deal for him, he became a social media star all over in the basketball world. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. So where's Rob Bobroczky now? We don't know. We assume he's still in the Spire Institute and he's still going to the same high school. We haven't heard any different, and I think that if he did leave the Spire Institute, that would be all over social media. So I'm guessing he's still working quietly in the background, trying to become a basketball player. I just think it's very, considering we've heard nothing, it's very unlikely that happens, which is unfortunate because he seems like a great kid. But you know, the truth's the truth. Sometimes it's not the most positive thing in the world. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.